Hey everyone, it's Anson here from Weekend Garage. Today I'll be showing you guys on how to install catless or catted downpipes in your W205 C63S or GL C63S. This is the M177 engine, so if you have the same engine, it's going to work for you. So we're now going to unbox our Weekend Garage downpipes. As you can see, the packaging is very secure, so your product's going to come undamaged. These are custom foam pieces. We'll get that out the way. So we have race cats and catless options, whichever you guys decide to go with. There is our logo, Weekend Garage. I'll show you guys in just a second. As you can see, there's some very thick padding. That's us, weekendgarage.com. It comes in 4 pieces. There's one, there's the other. It comes in 4 pieces because it's going to be easier for you to install. And you don't have to cut anything, as you've seen how hard it is to disconnect it. You're also going to have some hardware for your exhaust, which is pretty much the same as Mercedes as you've seen earlier. These are OEM spec material. And we have the secondary piece here. Just want to show you guys the difference between our pipes and others. Our pipes, we don't sell just the stainless polished version. Well, we don't recommend selling it. We can get it for you if you decide to go ahead with the polish. But see this finish right here? That is a layer of heat protection. With this heat shielding, you're going to drop surface temps by up to 300 Celsius. So your lines, your plastics, and your turbos, everything in the engine bay will last longer because this actually has insulation, as I'll show you in the factory downpipes. I'm going to bring it over and I'll show you the difference on why you want to go with our heat shielded downpipes. So on the left, we've got the OEM cats that we are going to show you how to install in this video, or how to remove in this video. And look at the difference. These are the heat treated heat shield on the OEM ones on the left, and ours right there. If the OEM ones come insulated, as you can see, to bring the temps down, ours will do the same, if not better. And ours goes all the way up. As you can see, the OEM ones stop right there. So that is the difference. You can get the downpipes on our website, weekendgarage.com. So let's start in our step-by-step video on how to install this, including every single bolt and what's hard, tips and tricks for a smooth install on your AMG. So with the catless downpipe installed, we have this plugged in. It's called Drive Clear. It enables you to drive catless downpipes with no tune at all. It will prevent it from going into limp mode and prevent a check engine light on the dash as well. All you have to do is plug it into the OBD port and drive. That's it. That's why it's called Drive Clear. So if you guys are interested in this, if you want to run a catless downpipe with no tune, you can check this out on our website in the description below. So first of all, we're going to remove the heat shielding and the heat shielding under it, and we're going to work on top of the engine before we lift up the vehicle or drive it on ramps, whichever method you decide, before we start working on the bottom. The method we're going to go with is we're going to cut the secondary cat in between the primary cat, just so we don't have to drop the whole transmission to change out the exhaust. And if you do decide to install the cats back on down the road, you can mark it with a marker. I'll show you guys later. Then you can get your local exhaust fabrication shop to weld it together if you do decide to install those factory ones back in. Or you could purchase the catted downpipes, which will not cause a check engine light in your vehicle, from our website as well, weekendgarage.com, which comes in 2 pieces. So you can actually sell your OEM downpipes and make money while installing race downpipes, which are catted, and trade it in or use it for yourself, or whichever method you decide to go with. So first off, we're going to start by removing the heat shield. It's held in by 10 mils. And then we're going to get the one on the other side. So now that we got the top 2 screws over there, we're going to pop this trim out. You just pull it up and it comes out in 3 plastic tabs. Put that somewhere safe. Then we're going to get this one, and there's one on this side. However, this side, you're going to have to remove the air box in order to gain access to that bolt. Then we can take off this heat shield. After we've loosened the 4 torques, we're going to release this band right here, just enough. After that, you're going to grab your pliers and we're going to hold on the clamp and wiggle this out. Okay, so make sure the band clamp over here is loose enough. And we've released the bottom. I'm going to pull up and away. So to release the intake temperature sensor, we're going to pull that towards the front of the engine and pull up. There's a plastic tab back here and it just slides. Put that somewhere safe. And then we're going to disconnect this air sensor. After you remove the locking tab, you just got to wiggle it and it pulls right out. As you can see, there's the locking tab. Put your flathead, pop it up, and it comes right out. Now we're going to take off this whole cover and put it somewhere safe. And then we're going to find a bag of some sort just to cover this up. We're going to put a bag over the intake. So no debris will get into the turbo. Prep work is very important. Now we're going to remove the last screw on this heat shield. So after you remove the 4 screws, this will come right out. So now we're going to pop off the intake routes. Okay, so this air box pulls straight up, and this vent, you can release the clips up top and put your hand inside the vent, and we're going to release the middle clip right there. Just put your hand in there and press down, and this comes out in one piece. We're going to do the same for the other side. Now we're going to do the same for the other side. Exact same steps as the left side. Make sure you don't put any tools in the front of the radiator. I've seen people drop their drills or screwdriver and it punctures your front radiator, and that's going to be a bad day. So we're going to go ahead and just release the sensor on this side without opening the air box. Same thing as the other side. Okay, so once you pop the clip out, press down and pull out. That'll release this connector. That's somewhere safe. Okay, so now we're gonna pull this whole thing up. Release the front tube. And disconnect the air intake up here. Pull up, put your hand down, press down on the inside. Take out this whole piece. After taking off the intake, or the air filter, we are going to put a bag over the other turbo, because prep work is important. Make sure it's perfectly sealed. After that, we are going to grab our E12 torque spit and take off this cover up here. Now we're going to take out the other side. After you've taken off 7 E12 Torx bits, we're going to lift this up. Comes out straight. I'm going to put this somewhere safe. Okay, now we're going to remove the O2 sensors up top first. Put your O2 sensor on there. Use your breaker bar. It's probably going to be seized. And then do the same for this side. I'm going to put these somewhere safe. Then we're going to do the same for this. We're going to release the wires from the clips back here. And then we're going to free it up. Release it from the back. You just have to press the connector and it comes right out. Then we're going to pull some slack without reefing on the cable, just so we can get some slack to turn this around. After that, put your socket on. Find a good position and just turn. After you loosen up, you can just use your hands to free it up. So you can use one hand to guide the cable. After that, you want to turn it the opposite direction so you're not messing up the cable. And we put it on this side. The short side goes on the left, the long side goes on the right. We're going to take off these blockers, the temp blockers for your O2 sensors, and put it somewhere safe. Now we're going to work on releasing the E12 Torx right here, because we're going to try to release this heat shield. It's super tight in here, so after you loosen up, you can just use the extension and your hands. Okay, we have worked it out. It's so tight that I had to take off my gloves just to get this bolt. And it's same on the other side. Alright, so now our purpose is to drop or loosen up those 3 bolts there. You see the triangle down there? We're going to loosen those up. And then hopefully that'll get the heat shield loose. And then we can press it towards us and release 2 more bolts over there, top and bottom. So let's get some extensions and remove those 3 bolts in the middle. So let's start with the top one. Retrieve our screws. Okay, so once we've dropped the plate, we're going to squeeze in the heat shield towards the middle of the car and push it as forward to the vehicle as you can so we can get our E12 behind here to release these 2 bolts holding on the bracket. It's going to be tight, so take your time. Okay, so what I'm doing is, once I've loosened it up, once I broke it loose with the 3/8 ratchet, I just use my fingers and the socket until I get it far enough out. After I do that, I actually put my fingers in there and just use my fingers to get it out, because that's how tight it is. Doesn't matter if you drop it because you'll grab it from the bottom anyways. So we got the top one out, and now we'll do the one under that. So same idea. Okay, so right now got my finger turning a socket for the lower bracket bolt It is smaller than the one on the top. I'll show you in just a second. Alright, so after struggling, this is what the bracket looks like. This is the top bolt. This is the bottom. The bottom bolt is smaller than the top. It's an E10. I had to put my finger down there along with my other hand, and I used my 2 fingers and I turned it like so while supporting it with my left hand. So that's how I turned it. You're going to mess up your hand a little bit, as you can see, but we got it out. And now I'm going to show you the next steps. Okay, so now we're going to drop the 4 bolts for the bracket on each side. As you can see, right down there, there's 2 E-torques each side, and we're going to release the bottom bracket. And now we're going to use our 10 mils and release the 2 clamps on the exhaust. Just to make it easier to work with on removing the heat shield, because we're having difficulties doing that right now. Okay, once we've removed the screws on both of them, we're going to put our pliers right here, or our breaker bar. No, this is not a breaker bar, this is a pry tool, but we're going to use a hammer. Just hammer it so it becomes loose. Okay, once you knock out the bottom to knock out the top, we're going to use a pry tool. Leverage it off this knob right here. Use a rubber mallet. Just hit up. And your ring should come out with no damage. We're going to do the other side. Leverage it on this hard piece. Use a rubber mallet. Might be stuck on there good, so just work your way around. So we're going to use the side leverage. Just be gentle with it. There we go. Now we're going to grab our clamps, move it towards the front. And that, it is ready to come out. Okay, so once we've released all of the bolts, we're going to press on the heat shield, both sides. Make sure nothing is stuck to it, and take it out. And make sure you remove all the O2 wiring. Put this somewhere safe. To remove the O2 wiring, it's fairly simple. We're going to take out this bracket. This is a pain. So to remove the O2 wiring, you just have to press on these and pull the wire out. It's very straightforward. Now we're going to remove the under tray so we can access the exhaust. These are 8mm bolts. After you remove all the bolts, we're going to slide it towards the rear of the vehicle. Okay, so now we're looking at the right cat. You see these cables right here. The blue one is the secondary O2 sensor, and the brown one is the primary. We're going to work on disconnecting it right here. There's a clip for both of them, and it comes out the mount like so. So if you take a look, if you press on this metal tab, you can pull them out, and then it's easier for you to disconnect. I'll put the camera down and you guys can see. And it's the same for the other side. So pull it out the socket. After you pull it out the socket, it's a clip right here. Not sure if it's picking up on camera. You guys can zoom in. Just gotta press down, pull it apart. There you go. That's the primary. Now we're going to do the same for the secondary. So we're going to take it out the connector. So that gives you more space to work with. Jam in your fingers. And then to disconnect this one. So in order to disconnect the blue secondary cat, we're going to use our flathead. Push it in the top. It's a press down connector inside. Hold the gray connector and the black one separately and pull it apart. So screwdriver in. There we go. So once again, let's see if it'll pick up on camera. We're going to plug this in. So it's going to press down this black connector here. And you press it down, you can slide out the other side. You don't have to force anything. As with all German vehicles, it's all perfectly fitted. So take your time. Now we're going to do the same for the other side. So now we're on the left side. The exhaust. We're gonna reach for the blue cables. There's my screw from earlier. So reach over. Just work it out the holder. This side's harder to show you guys, but it's exactly the same as the other side. This side's even tighter because there's a steering rack in the way. There's the primary, same as the other side. You gotta press down on the black, pull on the connector. Now we are reaching for the secondary to remove it from the holder. So the left side's even harder. Instead of plugging the screwdriver in, we're just gonna push the whole top black part in and pull out the connector. You can use the right side for reference, how it works. So instead of the left side where we put the screwdriver in, we didn't even have enough space to put in a flathead up there. So what we did was just press down like so on the top, push it down, and pull it out. There's not even an inch slack up there, so I can't zoom in to show you guys. It's exactly the same as the right side. So we've loosened up, we've released both the connectors. Now we're gonna route the cable so it doesn't get stuck, and then we're gonna go ahead and cut the cat right here. Same on the other side. We're gonna cut the driver's side first because it's gonna be harder, because it's even tighter on this side. Now we're going to loosen the clamp back up. There we go. We got one side out. Now we're going to do the other side. Now that we cut this off, we're going to drop the exhaust clamp. Now that we get it out, get rid of this and then go to the top of the engine. So after we've cut off both the secondary cats, we're now going to lower the vehicle. And we're going to work on the top side in order to remove the primary cats. And then we'll be feeding in our new catless downpipes, or race cat, depending on which one you go with. So now that we've cut the exhaust, the secondary cat off on the bottom, we're going to release the 4 bolts over there. There's 2 there, and then there's 2 here. Right under here, under the bracket. So we're going to reach it under the vehicle. You're going to use an extension. I'll show you in just a second. We're going to loosen it up and then drop the car back down, and then we'll finish off the rest from up here. So once you break it loose from underneath the vehicle, you'll be able to get it off from here. But if you just start from here, you can't get leverage or a tool in there because it's too tight. Okay, so we're on the left side underneath the vehicle. As you can see, we cut off the secondary cat, and we're looking up from here. See those 2 bolts? What we did was use an extension from down here, and we went all the way up there. We put a swivel socket and 3 extensions just to break it loose like that from down here. And you do the same on the right side. After you break it loose, you can drop the vehicle down, and then we can finish off from up top. Okay, so once we broke it loose from the bottom, I'm going to show you guys right here. That's what we're looking at. I'm going to finish off with just holding the socket, the E10. I'm going to hand screw it out. Once we get one side out, we're going to take the pipe off from one side, and we will work on the other side. And then on installation, we're going to install the bolts from the front, so it's a lot easier. Not sure why they installed it in reverse here, making it a lot harder. Got one out. One more. Okay, so we've loosened up the left side. Now we're doing the right. Since we broke it loose by hand underneath the car, it's a lot easier. Okay, we've loosened both brackets. I'm gonna pull out. So we're going to take out the bracket first, so we have more space to remove the cats. That's when to get the other one out. It's going to be the same. Okay, now we're going to remove the secondary O2 sensors and transfer it onto our new downpipe. So break it loose and just take it out by hand. Make sure you put it somewhere safe and don't damage it. Same for the other side. Okay, so now we're going to install the secondary and primary cats onto our new exhaust. First, we're going to put some anti-seize on there. Okay. Then we're going to hand thread it in. The blue one goes on the lower part, and the brown one goes on the upper portion above the logo. The logo is right here. So we're going to hand thread it in first. Same for the other side. There's lots of packaging to remove from our product. Now we're going to do the primary cat. There you go. After you hand tighten it, we're going to put our tool in there. Now to tighten the secondary. Now we're going to do the secondary for the other side. Start by hand threading it. Make sure you don't cross thread this. These are all factory tested before we ship them out, so the fitment will be 100%. As you can see, it goes in perfectly. Now for the primary, same thing. I'm going to put some anti-seize. And once again, the primary is the one above our logo right here. One is brown and one is blue, so you cannot mix it up. Now we're going to tighten it. Make sure you're not cranking it. And tight is enough. Because once it expands and contracts, it'll be tight. So make sure you're not reefing on it. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to put our rack, or our exhaust mount, back on. We're going to put the 4 screws on each side. Start by hand threading it. There's 4 of these. Now we're going to grab our ratchet and fasten them all down. Okay, so now we're going to lower our pipes in. Okay, so on the driver's side, as you can see, our pipe is stuck behind the steering column. I'm going to show you guys how to remove it right here. So if you lift up and turn right, it'll disconnect. If your driver's side's on the other side of the car, just look at the diagram up close. It'll tell you to lift up and turn the direction to unlock it. So it might be counterclockwise on the other side. But in North America, we lift up and turn right. As you can see, now it's disconnected. We're going to pull the steering rack up. I'm going to put the camera down. Just pull up, and it comes right out. Now I'm going to feed the pipe. I'm going to go back to the top. We're going to drop the car and try to feed the pipe from up top. But now, as you can see, we have lots more room to work with. So just a tip for you guys, you must disconnect the steering rack like I showed you. After that, you're just going to twist it. You'll understand when you get under the car and disconnect the rack and have this down there. You have to disconnect it, pry the rack under the pipe, and then twist it to get it to fit like this. After that, we're going to put this exhaust clamp on. this into place. Don't secure it yet, because now we're going to work on the left side. Okay, to fit this passenger side pipe, have the secondary O2 sensor face you. We're going to feed it down as far as you can go. Once this side is touching the heat shield, we're going to slowly twist the whole pipe in this motion. Like it's spiraling down, and then it'll fit right in like that. So no difficulty there. You are following our tutorial, and our pipes are made for it to fit easily. So you ain't gonna struggle, because there's not a single guide online that'll teach you how to do this. Every single video on YouTube skips this part. So now we're gonna put the bracket back in order to secure the two pipes onto the mount, and then we'll put the heat shield on. Actually, before that, we're gonna put the mount here. I'm gonna put these two pipes on, and I'll show you guys how to do the lower pipes. Okay, now we're gonna grab our middle bracket, feed it down, and just move the pipes around. So it actually goes behind, as you can see. Now we're going to put the 4 e-torques in onto the middle bottom bracket. And now we're going to drive the 4 bolts, 4 e-torques, 2 on each side. Okay, now we are going to fit the lower portion of the driver's side. First, we're going to put the included hardware up top. And then we're going to grab the shorter of the 2 pipes and fit it into place. We're going to push the factory clamp back here. So we're going to tighten the included clamp with our downpipe, but not all the way, because we're going to make sure they fit on both sides. Before you tighten it all the way, we'll make sure the fitment's good. Take your time here, we don't want any exhaust leaks. Okay, don't forget to put the steering rack back in, and also connect your O2 sensors. Make sure the cables are routed correctly and away from the heat. Now we're going to put some anti-seize on the exhaust clamps. And we're going to fit the final pipe. Now we're going to use our new included hardware. I'm going to put the 4 bolts here that you can access anytime, unlike the OEM one where you can only access the e-torques from the back. After that, we're going to put in the 2 hex heads here, and then we're going to start the vehicle up. Okay, so now we've installed the O2 sensors, the bracket in the middle, the screws, and the band clamp right here, both of them. Next up, we're going to install the 2 air boxes, the vents, or the routing. We're going to put those back, and we're going to do a leak test to hear if there's a leak anywhere in the system, and then go for a test drive. And now we're going to put the air box back before putting all the heat shielding. You can skip this if you are confident your installation has no leaks. We're going to do a test run before we put the heat shielding back. Okay, so now we have the car up in the air. We're going to start up to see if there's any leaks in the lower exhaust clamps. If not, we're going to put the trays back, lower the car, put it back in the ground, and check the top clamps, put the heat shielding on, and we're complete, and we'll go for a sound check. So that is how to install the Catless downpipes on your C63S or a similar AMG. We have no check engine light. That's because we have this plugged into the OBD. It's called Drive Clear. It's also on our website. It'll prevent your car from going into limp mode and remove the check engine light on your dash. So you don't even have to tune it. We're not going to tune it for now. We're going to let it run until we decide which tuner to go with, or if we even want to tune it. It just depends on what you want to do with your vehicle. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Let me know if you guys got any questions. You can leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.